Well, I'm out here in Terracea, Florida, just on the south side of the Sunshine Skyway Bridge at Tampa Bay. And I have some bees behind me. I think I have 48 colonies here at this yard, and getting my smoker ready to light. And these bees have been making mangrove honey for a little while now. They've been on this nectar flow for about a week and a half, 2 weeks. And as these bees fly around, they're flying throughout Terracea, which is one of the only remaining areas in Tampa Bay that we can really make a good mangrove honey crop, because most of the high concentrations of mangroves have been cut down around the bay, and the mangrove shorelines have been replaced with seawalls and docks and multi-million-dollar homes with nice lawns and St. Augustine grass that requires a lot of fertilization and pesticides and herbicides, and when it rains, all that gets washed into the bay and pollutes the bay. And unfortunately, one of the defenses the bay has against pollutants are the mangrove trees. And so we are not only destroying what can protect the bay, but then we are polluting the bay on top of it. And so the good news is, as these bees go around and they collect nectar from millions and millions of mangrove flowers, they are pollinating those flowers and allowing them to turn into seeds. And then those seeds fall into the bay, and they have the chance to reproduce new mangroves and hopefully keep the environment in check a little bit. And so my jobs are, number one, I'm a beekeeper, and then during the winter time I do some commercial fishing for mullet and stone crab in the Tampa Bay area. And so I get to really see the effects of development on the bay, and it's not been good. We've had such bad red tide years the past few years, and it's really affected the fisheries, and so it's concerning for me. And then also I see the effects of the pesticides and the herbicides on the honeybees, and the development equals less forage for the bees. And so I really get to see and feel the negative effects that development is having on this area. And so I hope in some little way to be able to share my story and get some awareness out there that we need to take care of our environment and take care of this bay. I love Tampa Bay. I've lived here all my life, and I want to live here the rest of my life. And I really enjoy the freedom of making a living off of the land and the water here. But if things keep going the way they're going, I'm concerned that I may not be able to do that sustainably long term. Giving a little smoke to calm the bees down so I don't get stung too much. It's been rainy today. Sometimes the rainy weather will get them in a little bit of a bad mood. Gonna pop the cover on this one. See what's happening. Everything looks good from here. Lots of bees, and I see they're making new wax. I'm gonna pull one of these frames out and see how the honey's coming along. There it is. The bees are getting nectar, and they are busy making that mangrove honey. Angle this camera up a little bit. Take a taste. It's a nice clear honey. Try to taste this without the bees getting inside of the veil. Oh man, that is delicious. It's sweet, it's floral, but it has a saltiness to it. It reminds me of Tampa Bay. When I eat mangrove honey, it just feels like home. And so this should be starting to get ready to harvest within a couple weeks, and so we'll be spinning it out. And then our company is Queen and Colony Bee Company. We sell honey in about 30 stores throughout the Tampa Bay area, and it's been a really bad year for honey production so far, and so we are excited that the mangrove honey is coming in strong, and we are really anticipating getting this to our customers. I want to show you a little bit around this property. I want to thank James Casper with Casper Modern for letting me keep bees here. And James has been a friend of mine since I was a teenager, and great guy. And also he is a charter captain. He does a lot of tarpon fishing in Tampa Bay. And so it's also cool seeing the connection where we're keeping bees here, we're helping the bay, pollinating the mangrove trees, and then we both get to enjoy the fruits of that with having a cleaner, healthier bay so that we can enjoy the things we love to do, like fishing and crabbing and swimming and doing all the stuff that Tampa Bay is a great stuff to do when there's not red tide and dead fish everywhere. But right here at the back of the property, it's all mangrove swamp. The only reason I'm wearing this bee suit still is because the mosquitoes are bad right now. But right here we got some white mangrove is blooming. The bees also work that. It's not as major of a nectar source. And then right through here is the black mangrove, and that's what the bees are working right now. The red mangrove has already bloomed, and I see a lot of that going to seed. The bees are already done their job with that. But right there, that's the black mangrove, and that's what the bees are making honey with. And this property, it borders Terracea State Park, and so there's nothing but mangroves and natural mangrove swamps here. So it is one of the last good places to make mangrove honey around Tampa Bay, and I'm thankful for it.